Hey everybody, I just want to pop in and hopefully this is going to be fairly brief. And I know I keep saying brief. I say brief in everything I do, and I'm end up here for 45 minutes. Try not to do that. But hang out with me, bear with me. You can probably already see the timestamp, so you know how long this ends up. I just want to show you two quick ideas to use your coding tools for. When I go in and I use for recording, I use OBS Studio. It's a terrific program. You can set up multiple scenes, and I'll walk you through those real quick. And on this particular computer, this one isn't my programming laptop, which is where am I here? This guy right here. This one isn't quite as high powered. So I ran into an encoding error, encode, as soon as I started it. So as soon as I started recording, I installed it, set up the scenes, it looks great. And then when I hit go record, it had an encode error. Didn't tell me what it was, didn't tell me how to search for it. I had no idea what it meant. I go over here into Visual Studio Code, which I like. Some people like the native app, some people like the oh my God, drawing a blank. Right in the code line, command line, thanks. I just told it, I just installed OBS, ran into the error, gave it the description. It says in 48 seconds, I found it. Let's go do that. Made the change. It protected that the scenes that I already set up. Off it goes. It says, go ahead and give it another try. So I go ahead and give it another try, and well, you can see the fact that we're here, it worked. That was a minute or two of troubleshooting that would have taken me up to hours of searching, finding issues, known issues, unknown issues, settings, the whole 9 yards. I think you get the point. I'll go back really quickly on this OBS because I have had a couple people ask me, what do I use for tech stack? And the scenes that you can do, I'm gonna share my screen and it's gonna get a little obnoxious, I think, here, but because the camera, yeah, it gives you the infinite view. But when you look up here, it shows you here are the types of scenes, and I'll now switch. So main camera, here's the view of my laptop, here's the view of the screen on the right, and then I'll switch that over, and here is the main screen with me floating down at the bottom right. Really quick and easy once you've got it set up. And in order to set it up, I needed a bit of a tutorial. And instead of just saying, hey, Codex, Cloud Code, go do this for me, I asked, I just installed it. I want to set these scenes up. Walk me through where I go and why I'm doing those steps. Of course, it did a terrific job of it. Now, what I want to do is take you through another really good use case, very quick, of a tool that I built. We got talking about supplier relationships. And a supplier relationship can be anything of, do you resell equipment? Do you hire people? I'll use house building as an instance. You have to sometimes hire framers, sometimes you hire drywallers, insulators, foundation, landscapers, the whole gamut. They're all suppliers to you. If you own a dirt bike shop, you have parts suppliers, you have dirt bike suppliers, you have clothing suppliers. It all ties in. And we got talking, and there wasn't really a good way of categorizing and understanding the interconnected relationships of all the suppliers. So what I came up with was a discussion that was going to be, well, let's just have a whiteboard. I love a whiteboard session. If anybody knows me, you've worked with me, you've seen me pull out the, well, look, I've got whiteboards all over the place in my home office, in my work office, everywhere. Then I thought, no, no, that's not AI first. I want AI through Visual Studio Code to build me somewhere where I can easily capture, sort, and understand the interconnected relationships between these. And so this is where I got to this. And at first glance, yeah, that's kind of cool. Looks nice and neat and tidy. But how do I use it? Simple. Start with add a supplier. You come in, you add who your supplier is, what they supply, you click it off, it does multiples. Who is the internal owner? Now you can assign that to a person, or you can just assign it to, I guess, a team in your company. And then who do you contact there? Who's their email? What's their website? And their supplier purpose. Go through where are they located, any notes that you have. Are they a current supplier or a future supplier? And this, we're going to get back to that a little bit because that's an important feature. Who owns it in the group? Sales, operations, finance, whoever. How much of an estimated revenue do you have or want by building this relationship? And then gross margin. Do you get 10% margins from them? Do you get 20% margins from them? Where does that all fill? A couple of different categories. And then the algorithm builds you a standard decision on how to handle that relationship. So do you grow it, defend it, fix it, standardize it, partner with them, exit it, because that's always a possibility, or just monitor. And this is an override. And if you're going to make an override, you have to put in why. Oftentimes we find ourselves just going gut feeling. Yeah, gut feeling. I'm just going to change it. So when you're doing the work session, you have to pull them in. And then it does, this is the best part of this, I think, in terms of strategic build, understanding the business. What is the strategic fit? So you own a motorcycle shop and they sell tires. They manufacture tires. Well, it's a pretty moderate because you probably don't sell a lot of the full-on tires, or maybe you've got multiples, whatever, that kind of thing. Revenue potential, you decide whether it's high value, low value, margin potential, cross-sell pull. Are they the sort of thing where you're building houses and this one company loves to be framing, drywall, and paint? You got a bit of a cross sell there. So can I just pull them in and sell their services to the client? Because as we all know, there's always a markup, right? Now, lead time risk. How busy are they? How long are they booking out? Parts availability risk. If back to the tire thing, well, their supply chain is brutal and it all comes through the Panama Canal, well, maybe you run into some geopolitical risk. Technical complexity. Do I have the ability in-house to understand, sell, and work on what they have? Field service revenue, if something breaks down, safety and compliance risks. So all of these risks go through, and then they give you a full-on risk matrix and a risk score. In this one, I had AI just generate a couple of dummy test companies because we haven't had an opportunity to sit down and go through the whole exercise. But you can see really quickly, all right, revenue, oh, there's a bit of a risk here. Why is there a risk here? Let's pull that up. And the comments are all in, you know. Okay, we got another company. Awesome. Now I have information. And in the scale of data and what you do with data, you take data and you turn it into information. And then you take information and you turn it into knowledge. And that's where the next layer of this build comes. On here, there's a canvas that you say, oh, look, okay, here's all my companies. Cool, brings it up. All right, Adam, pretty okay, but I thought this was a supplier relationship tool. Oh, you are correct. Let's see what the overlap map shows me. Here you see the relationships now. And if I go to this company and I wonder, hey, what's this? Oh, they sell parts. Cool. This, well, wow, okay, I got a lot of interconnections here with these folks, but they also sell parts. Well, how many of our relationships sell parts? Of our suppliers sell parts? Boom, you got it. This tells the story, and this turns your data from information into knowledge. And as I spoke previously, if you can highlight between existing and new, so is this a supplier that you want to start courting, as it were? And this is the tool that you would use. I want to just close it up real quick with, I hope that shows you two quick instances of the real power that these AI coders have. You put those AI coders in the right hands, the hands of somebody who can project manage, has big picture vision, and can get a group of people in the room and frame it out, build it out. You could take this tool, and I'm going to say that there are people out there, if a person had to sit and code this from scratch, your weeks, if not a month of coding. So we call this anywhere between $10,000 and $20,000 worth of development time. This is product. This is deliverable. Now you could do this in a couple of days. It's crazy. And then if it serves its purpose and you don't really need to play with it anymore, you can shelf it and not feel bad about it because you didn't just throw away 20 grand on it, or $1,000 a year subscription, or $10,000. Who knows? Or you can just delete it. Delete it. I don't need it anymore. It's good. You've got that optionality. We have to rethink how we look at tools, how we bring them into our systems, and how we use them, and then how we dispose of them. All right, I actually did keep that one pretty quick. I think we're under 15 minutes. If you stuck with me, you learned something, inspired an idea, hit like, subscribe, share it with somebody. I'm always willing to go ahead and share my information, share these ideas as I keep moving through. So thank you all very much, and I hope you have a terrific evening.